Hi guys, this is episode 11, Radio Haventon Part 2, and there are a bunch of tricky enemy encounters in this episode that we're gonna try to get through as cleanly as possible. And so the first group is going to be 3 enemies, and you want to try to get this with something that we're going to be using from now on, which is the arrow switch trick. So what I want to do is sort of focus on this group of 2 guys over on the right when they come out of that door. And that is so that the guy on the left will run closer to me while the guys on the right stay back. And so just keep your arrow sort of trained at them. Let that guy on the left run up to you, get a little close, and then you can shoot him with an arrow. Quickly swap to your gun and put it on to these guys. You don't have to cut it as close as I did just there, but switch to your gun, pick up the arrow, give yourself some distance, and then quickly switch back to your arrow again and kill this next guy. Switch back to your gun, and then you can either intimidate or struggle kill this last guy. Sometimes, depending on which guy it is that's left, they'll surrender. But if they don't, you can just struggle kill them. There's a painkiller that one of them dropped, so you want to pick that up. I think I picked it up as I was getting my arrow back from one of those 2. That fire right there, you can sometimes kick one of them into that if you can get it lined up just so, but basically you just want to do the little arrow switch trick where you switch from your arrow to your gun as quickly as possible and then back to your arrow, and that helps you conserve your bullets for some of these enemy encounters. And you'll see that I'm going to use that several times throughout this first section here, or throughout this whole episode, excuse me. So then we're going to just come into this place, go into the room on the left here. There's going to be some painkillers. And then you want to make sure you have another arrow ready to go, because there's going to be a guy in this room on the end here that you just want to murder in the face. And pick up your arrow. And then there's going to be a first aid kit back here in the corner.
What luck.
Again, I can't stress enough that you really, really, really want to make sure that you have your arrow at all times, because it will glitch out on you and disappear so that you can't pick it back up. So you really want that. Going to go ahead and notch another arrow, because there's going to be another guy that we want to make sure we take care of. You don't want to go to the left just yet. You want to go to the right. And then just inside this room up here on the left is going to be a guy, and he has a gun, so you definitely want to take care of him right away before he has a chance to shoot you, because that would be unpleasant. Make sure you pick up your arrow, and there's going to be some painkillers back here in the back, just in case he did get a shot on you, but he shouldn't if you're ready for him. And then we're going to get ready to help our next victim. It's going to be victim number 13. And he's going to be kind of tied up on a chair here. This guy's torturing him. And there are a couple of different ways you can kill this guy. You can sort of sneak up behind him and do a struggle kill, which will like slit his throat. I'm just going to use an arrow on him because I feel like that's a little bit safer. And then you make sure you pick your arrow back up and go talk to this guy. He's going to want 2 painkillers, and so you give those to him. And you will help your next victim. There's sometimes when, I think if I go up behind the guy and press X to struggle kill him, it automatically gives him the painkillers, so that's kind of interesting that it will do that. Sometimes without you even really knowing that you've done this give the guy 2 painkillers thing, but in any case, that's the way that you help this guy. Again, sometimes it'll do it automatically, sometimes it won't show up that you can push X to do that, but if you walk up to him and push X, you can give him the painkillers. So he's just a little bit glitchy, but nothing game breaking or anything. You can always give him the painkillers, whether it tells you can or not. So you want to come down these stairs and around, and there's going to be a lovely adrenaline syringe back here for you. So you can pick that up and carry on with your mission. So there's going to be another enemy encounter coming up here soon, where we're going to again use that little arrow switch trick where we swap quickly from the arrow to the gun. I cannot tell you how useful this trick is when you are trying to conserve your ammo. So how we're going to set up this next room is to make sure that we arrow the pistol guy first. He's going to be the one standing up, kind of pacing around. So you want to make sure that you get locked onto him, shoot him, quickly switch to your gun, and then pick up your arrow and whatnot. And so what you can do for one of these guys is back them up and strike them into the fire. And then the next guy, you can either, he will get intimidated and surrender to you, so you can just strike him, or you can struggle kill him, or you can pick your arrow back up and use the arrow on him. So again, just really want to make sure that you're swapping really quickly between your arrow and gun there, and you should be able to take all three of those guys out no problem. When we go up this ladder right here, we're going to encounter another enemy type, a new enemy type, and that's going to be an enemy with some body armor. And so you have to use a feature of the game that we haven't used up until now because we really haven't needed it, the manual aim. So when you click in your right thumbstick, you go to manual aim, and the reason you want to do this on this enemy is because you need to hit him in the head. So if you hit him anywhere else in the body, his armor just takes it. So when you come around this corner, it's going to give you the tutorial for it, which will make you drop your bow and arrow, which kind of stinks because then you have to aim it again, but that's okay. So we want to make sure that we click the stick to manual aim and then kind of get it lined up on his head, back up if you need to, and shoot him in the face. And you can pick up his body armor as well, which will take about one pistol shot, I believe, is what that will cover for you without you losing any of your health. So that can definitely be useful. If you walk straight back here, you can pick up one of the elusive retries. So something that happens sometimes with these next enemies is that depending on where this guy that you just killed fell, sometimes they will see the body and get sort of alerted and be off of their regular paths. So you kind of want to be aware that that can happen. But there is a melee guy who's going to come out of this room right here, and so we're going to hit him with an arrow. And then there's also going to be a pistol guy. And so sometimes the pistol guy is sort of roaming around. If he's not moving around, he'll be in this room up here. And you definitely want to make sure to take him out before he gets a beat on you. And so that little encounter right there can go very differently, pick up that fruit cocktail, from the way that I just did it if the AI gets off of their path that they were on right there. So you kind of want to just be aware that those guys may move around this area a little bit, and you want to kind of listen to hear them talking or whatnot. There's a bullet right there. Listen to hear them talking so that you'll know whether or not they kind of have seen the body of the dude down there and are moving about. So just be careful with those two guys. The guy on the floor there that had the gun, he has sort of this face wrap on, and the melee dude is sort of this this bald-headed guy. So that's kind of how you tell them apart. And you definitely want to make sure to deal with the pistol guy with your bow and arrow pretty quickly. So, moving along, his gun actually fell over here for whatever reason, but it was empty anyway, so no bullet from that for us. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to be doing is going around to our next victim. It's going to be victim number 14. And the way that you get to this guy is you see this sign that says quarantine, keep out. You want to jump off the railing over here to the right of it and shimmy around this stuff that's blocking the path so that you can get through this door and to this guy. He's going to want some oral rehydration salts that we have been saving just for him. And so after we give that to him, we will get another retry, and that will be 14 victims that we've saved. So that's very nice. And then in this room, I believe that there might be a way that you can climb up. I'm not 100% sure on that, but you definitely want to come around here and just walk up the steps. There's no need for added frustration of climbing when you don't need to be climbing. When you get up here, you can go up this ladder to the top of this little tower or mast or whatever this is on this boat and pick up this bullet, which is very nice. And now we're going to be going around to where our objective is to pick up the transmitter that's in the front of this ship. So, I'm going to walk into a wall first because that's how I like to do it. And then we're just going to go up here and get the transmitter.
Henry will be glad to get this. Now let's get it.
Okay, so after you pick that up, there's going to be a lot of enemies. So there's going to be 2 down here. You want to do your kind of arrow trick thing. So you just want to sort of peek out here, let them spawn. Don't fire your arrow into nothing. The sort of auto aim kind of, it trips you out sometimes. So we're going to arrow that guy, quickly switch to our shotgun, because there's going to be another dude. Yep, right around there. And we're just going to want to, he's going to surrender. If he doesn't surrender, just struggle kill him. But he will usually surrender to you. We want to get our bow and arrow ready again, because there's going to be another group of 2 enemies. As we proceed down these stairs. Now sometimes, as you saw, the auto aim sort of messes you up as you're sort of going down some of these stairs.
What the hell do you think you're doing?
Alright, so we're going to arrow that guy, switch to our gun,
No, please.
and struggle kill this second dude right here. Okay. Make sure we have our arrow picked back up. Okay. And so if you go out this way, you'll see that there's this conspicuous chain right here. This takes you down to another kind of secret-ish area, I guess.
How'd you find this place?
And you'll hear this guy talking, and he'll offer to give you some supplies. I don't think you can see him or where he is, but there's a bottle of wine here and a thing of rat meat. If for whatever reason, oh, there he is. He just really blends in with with the background there, doesn't he? So you can also there's some supplies in this little tent, and he'll be like, no, don't take those. And so I feel bad for taking them, and I don't really need them anyway. It's a bottle of water and another piece of rat meat. But you can take those if you want to be a bad person. Okay, so moving on here, we're going to get another arrow ready, because there's going to be another encounter once we sort of get out of this area here. There should be one pistol guy and one machete guy, and so the pistol guy should be on the left, so you want to try to aim and get him first with your arrow so that you can then struggle kill the second guy. There's our pistol guy. And
Talk this over, okay?
machete dude. Okay. He dropped us some painkillers right there. Okay. Gonna equip our arrow again. Okay. It's because there's going to be yet another set of enemies. They're going to be coming out, of this door here on the right. We're going to arrow kill that first guy, then kind of intimidate these dudes. I'm going to switch to my pistol here because I'm going to want to headshot this armored dude. Pick up the body armor off of him, and then we're just going to come up here and struggle kill this last guy. Okay, so that got us through that encounter with only one bullet expended. If you could get one of the guys a little bit closer, it would be kind of risky, but you could allow one of the machete guys to get a little closer to you so that you could pick up his arrow to headshot the armor guy with instead of using your bullet. But like I said, that's a little bit of a riskier maneuver, and since we were able to pick up some bullets from this level, there's no real need to do that. One of them will also drop this first aid kit, so you want to go ahead and pick that up. And then we're going to continue on through this level. There is going to be one more group of enemies that we're going to have to deal with. And so, actually, I like to approach them from this side because it gives me a little bit more distance, I feel like. And for this group, there's going to be 5 of them. There are 4 machete guys and then an armor guy that's going to come from the boardwalk, the plank thing on the left. And your goal here is going to be to try to do the little arrow switch trick on as many of these guys as possible so that you can conserve your ammo. Okay. So what we're going to do is kind of, sort of allow a couple of them to kind of run up to you here. Okay, so we're going to get him with the arrow. Then we're going to come up here, pick up the arrow, kind of move back so that we can get some distance here. Quickly switch to our arrow again, kill another guy, switch back to our gun, pick up the arrow, quickly switch back to our arrows, shoot this next guy, quickly swap to our gun, and we're gonna struggle kill this last dude, maybe? So I'm going to tell you that does not normally happen, but if it does, you'll see that he just sort of tore through the body armor that I had on, so it's not a huge deal. I think what probably happened there was it took them a little while to come over and get sort of lined up for me, and so it probably like past the point where he was actually intimidated. Let's just go ahead and take care of this last guy here. So we'll let him get sort of close-ish and shoot him in the face. Maybe we're going to shoot him in the face. Come on. The manual aim is not the greatest thing on earth, especially when they get sort of close to you like that. But in any case, we picked back up some body armor. We only lost a tiny little bit of health, and at this point, it's not particularly worth going back through that entire chapter with all those enemy encounters. So obviously you can take out that last guy cleaner than I just did. Just, you know, shoot him in the head with the manual aim. But, and you pick back up the body armor off of him, so it was really no loss with the body armor, which is what I was trying to say here with these melee dudes. So sometimes if you're intimidating them for too long, they'll be like, alright, well, he's not going to shoot me, and start running toward you and charging like that last guy did, and that kind of interrupts your ability to struggle kill them, as was the original plan. So it may be better if you just shoot him with an arrow or something, if you have that option available to you. But anyway, trying to get through there, the biggest deal is to try to do it using as little ammo as possible, and we were able to accomplish that by using this sort of arrow switch thing. So we're going to step into this light and end this episode.